This is my go-to makeup look during the winter months. My skin is extra dry, so I need that moisture. I'm not setting anything with powders. I just use a little bit of powder bronzer to help set anything that might be a little too shiny. But I just love having hydrated looking skin, especially during these months. So if you're interested in how I achieve this look, then just keep watching. I always like to start with the eyes. That way if anything settles or falls, we can wipe it clean before we do the rest of the face. I'll use a face pencil as my eye primer. It can double as that as well. I'm just gonna rub a little bit on my finger and warm up the oils in the formula, and then I'll just tap this on the eyes. This can even out the eyelid, but then also help with shimmer adhering to the eyes as well. For reference, the face pencil I'm using is shade 6. Now that the lids are prepped, I'll set that with an eyeshadow. I really love Chic and Cream, which are up here. So Chic is really white, Cream's the one that's a little less white. I'll do a little mix of both of them. I'll use my index finger to apply the next eyeshadow. I think for today's look, I'm just gonna use the rose gold across the whole lid. I'll use my finger and then just tap. Rose gold is helping bring a little bit of life to the eyes. I'll use ash on the outer third and the crease of the eye, focusing the color on the outer corners rather than dragging it all the way in. It keeps the eyes looking more natural and bright. I also love using the powder bronzer in Dusty Rose on the eyes too. A really beautiful mauve tone, and it looks really pretty on people with blue eyes. Use the same brush that I used with ash, and then again, I'm gonna keep it in the outer third and in the crease area of the eye. Now we'll use the brown liner. I'm going to slowly do small strokes across the eye. I'm not being super precise because I'm going to go directly over it with the dark brown eyeshadow. That'll kind of smoke it out a little bit. This is one of my favorite Jones Road products. This is the brow brush, and I love the shape of it. It's super soft. It's the perfect size. We'll use dark brown, which is a very dark brown. I'll draw directly over top of the liner, and this will help set the liner in place. I won't have to worry about it moving around throughout the day. Powder is very forgiving. It's super easy to work with. If you've messed up, you can just blend out with a lighter powder over top. I'll quickly curl my lashes. I'm using the Jones Road mascara, of course. This is my all-time favorite mascara. I love the curve of the wand. It really hugs the lash line well, so you can really get in there. Mascara is always an essential for me. We have most of the eyes done, so I'm gonna move on to the skin. Because it's the dry winter months, I just need to make sure my skin is extra hydrated. I have normal to dry skin, especially around this time of year. It's gotten really dry. I'm using a little bit of the eye cream on the under eyes first. This is just good skin prep, especially when going in with the face pencils. Super important to have nice hydrated skin. I know some people really like using the Miracle Balm and Au Naturel as like a base before they put their foundation on. I actually like to use a little bit of a tint, so I'll use bronze all over my skin to add some additional hydration during these drier months. This is bronze. It looks more pigmented in the container, but it shears out beautifully. I'll pair it with the Everything brush. I'll just swipe this on all over. I also enjoy adding a little tint to the skin during these months too, because I'm so pale right now. Adding a little bit of color just kind of helps with brightening it up all over. I don't have anything on underneath. You can really take your time blending this and melting it into the skin. Now that I've got a little bit of life back into my skin, I'll use the face pencils. I'll start with Fair Pink as my neutralizer first. This is something you don't want to wear on its own because it has a pink tone. If you do wear it on its own, you'll see a little bit of that pink come through. It's important to use this with another product over top. I also like to look down so you can really see where the darkness is. I'm drawing it directly onto the under eye, but you could also rub this on your fingers and then pat it onto the under eye. That's a little bit gentler. I also like to take Fair Pink right into this inner corner here to help with brightening as well. I'm not going to draw this all across. I'm just going to keep it kind of in this area here. So we're concentrating it just on the inner corners of the eyes. Again, placing it up here in this inner corner. I feel like sometimes people forget about up here, but it makes a huge difference. Sometimes I like to clean up where I put my liner. Just add a little bit there just to sharpen up that area. And I also have a few little dark spots. I'm gonna go over those with my neutralizer as well. I also love to put a little bit of face pencil around the corners of my mouth. Some people like to put it around their nose area. I'll let that sit for a second just to give maximum coverage to the area. You could use 2 different brushes to blend this out, or you could use your fingers. If you were to use a brush, I'd recommend the detail brush here or the eye fluffy brush. And you can just kind of buff it out with a fluffy brush. So any harsh lines, this is really good for diffusing those harsh lines. I'll also use the detail brush. Next, I'll go right over top with shade 6. This is a neutral tone. It matches my skin tone, and this will help further brighten the under eyes and also help with more coverage. I always love to sharpen up this area because I have a pretty non-existent cheekbone. Again, using the detail brush, we're just going to blend all of this out. And if you're ever worried about things looking too light on your skin, you can always take a bronzer and warm up the skin again. Now that I've achieved my desired coverage, I want to bring back more glow. So I'm gonna pair it with the WTF, which is great for hydration. It looks amazing on the skin during winter months. I'll use the skin brush, then I'll use the WTF in shade light. I'll go directly into it with the brush. Foundation is really helpful for discoloration and evening out the skin tone. The WTF is not really going to be something you'd want to use on your under eyes because it has a little bit of essential oils in the formula, so you want to avoid that under eye. It might cause your eyes to water a little bit. Because I'm so dry, I'll also put a little bit on the forehead because I need a little extra hydration there too. But I don't really need evenness in my forehead area. I just more so like the finish of the WTF there. You could also use the face pencils after the WTF. There's really no wrong time to use it. I just like getting that optimal coverage first, and then I'm just going over top lightly with that WTF over it. Okay, I think we have a really good base now. I want to bring some more warmth to the skin. I'll use the bronzer brush, and I'm going to use the powder bronzers in Light Tan and Dusty Rose. I love mixing these together. I always put a little bit on the tip of my nose. By incorporating 2 different bronzers or just mixing colors in general, it can really help add dimension. It'll help the colors look less fake looking and more natural. For blush, we'll use the Lip and Cheek palette. So you've got English Rose, Mauve Rose, and Golden Pink here at the end. So this is a beautiful highlight. We'll use all 3 of these. Now I'm using English Rose over top. This is a rosy pink blush. Lip and cheek sticks have more pigment to them than the Miracle Balm. I prefer the lip and cheek stick as my blush. Sometimes if I'm feeling extra dry, I'll go over top with Miracle Balm just to seal that in. I'm excited for this highlighter. We'll put this right on the high points. I'll move on to the brows. I'm gonna keep it really simple. This is the brow pencil. I really love it. There's not that much left, as you can see. This is the shade Light Brunette. I'm using the clear brow gel just to keep all the hairs in place. If you can't tell, I have some gaps on this side. I love using the eyeshadow and ash and filling in those sparse hairs. I'll use the brow brush again with the shade Ash, and I will lightly fill in this area. I won't set my skin with powder because I'm really dry. The powder bronzer helped with setting a little bit of that shine, but I want to keep it looking dewy, so I'm not going to touch it. So we'll finish the makeup look with a little lip color. My all-time favorite lip is Rosewood. This is the lip liner. I use the lippy stick in Blackberry. I want to swipe this across the lips a few times to break the seal. I'll finish the lips with the Cool Gloss in Pink Gold Shimmer. Here's my finished makeup look. This is my go-to makeup look during the winter months. I just love having hydrated, fresh looking skin. If your skin is feeling extra dry, then this is definitely a makeup look for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.